This has been a highly requested song from you guys, and I wanted to do this for Memorial Day, but it was a change of plans. I had to work yesterday evening, so I didn't get a chance. By the time I got off, it was like I got home like 10, 11 o'clock last night. I'm supposed to work this morning, but I got up feeling like absolute doo-doo. Didn't work today. I'm feeling a little better now, so we're going to get to this video. Because so many of you, like an overwhelming amount of you wanted me to do this, and I figured this would be the great time to do it. It's for Memorial Day. It's the Star Spangle Banner as you've never heard it. I thought I've heard it all, but this apparently must be something pretty special. The video's 11 minutes long, so I'm expecting it's a little more than the Star Spangle Banner, but we'll find out what's going on with it, and we'll see what we think. So, without further ado, guys, from me to you, your highly requested Star Spangled Banner as you never heard it. Let's do this. Pretty sweet. I like it.
There was a lawyer once. His name was Francis Scott Key. He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the national anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story.
It's true.
Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day, in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis. Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men. And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains.
His voice sounds really familiar. Who is that narrating this? Sounds really familiar. I feel like I've heard him do a speech on YouTube here recently, like a motivational speech. Yeah. Let me know in the comments, guys. Who is this doing this the narration and the commentary over top of this?
He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains. As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem. He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter. And Francis Scott.
My daughter and I.
Francis Scott Key. He said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots. And he said, that's the entire British war fleet. He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort. He said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. He said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately. And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule.
Not gonna happen, big dog.
Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen. And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no reliefs. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag?
Man, that's tough. They're that dedicated to their country. They do not want that flag to come down no matter what happened. So that's true dedication to the flag and what it means. And again, it doesn't represent our government to us veterans. It represents you all, the people in our country, our people. That's who we care about, and that's what that flag represents to us.
Down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag? Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling. Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb, and Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down. The Admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees.
Ooh. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's absolutely right. We fight for what we believe in and our people and our freedom and our way of life. Even if that means that we have to give our life for it. Oh, man. Yeah, I've never heard it like this before. This is different. And I think a lot of people need to really watch this too and really see this is exactly what it means and why we, our national anthem is so important to us and where it came from. Let's press on here.
That sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees.
That's right. Also, for my audience.
The Admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down. He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that.
Jagging right, baby.
But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful. All that he could hear was the men down below praying. The prayer: God, keep that flag flying where we last saw it. Sunrise came. He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds. The flagpole itself was at a crazy angle, but the flag was still at the top. Francis Scott Key went aboard and immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits. And when it had fallen, but men, fathers, who knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground, although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly until they died.
I didn't know that. That's why our flag should never touch the ground. You know, everybody said don't let it touch the ground. Because we'll never have anything represent, this country laying down and giving up. We'll always fight. As long as that flag's in the air, we'll keep fighting. Oh my God. Whew. Let's keep going.
Their bodies were removed and others took their place.
Wow.
Francis Scott Key said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle were patriots' bodies. He penned the song, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. For the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet fly and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? The debt was demanded. The price, it was paid.
Oh, say,
Here we go.
see,
Let me take a break. I never heard that story told in depth like that. I didn't know the flag was held up by patriots' bodies. And then they were replaced by more people willing to hold that flag up no matter what. Man, that just shows you what kind of people we got in this country and the love for our country and each other and stuff. And again, none of this has anything to do with the government. None of this represents the government. That flag represents the people and our love for each other and our freedom and our way of life. Don't ever forget that, guys. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. Let's just go. Wow, that's amazing.
It was paid.
oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and It grew through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Oh my God. That is amazing. Phew, I've already had a lot of stuff on my mind this Memorial Day weekend, just like everybody else out there watching this. I know you have. It's tough, guys. Losing loved ones and everything that goes on, and thank you for that suggestion. That was so now every time I hear the national anthem after that, it's going to even have a more powerful meaning, knowing all the little details that said in the first part of that video. Wow. Guys, I want to take one thing from this. In regard to, everyone's loved ones are lost, for Memorial Day, for whatever reason. Keep in mind, if you always hold the love of your lost loved ones in your heart and keep their memories in your mind forever, they will always be with you. Just keep that in mind, guys. And God bless every one of you. God bless this country. Thank you so much for your support, guys. We just passed 7,000 subscribers. If you guys like these videos, if you want to subscribe, like, definitely comment in the comment section so we have discussion. I love to have discussions with you guys. You enlighten me to so much knowledge with these songs and these groups and stuff, and I really appreciate that. I want you to know that. Love you guys. God bless America. God bless every one of you all. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. And until the next one, the old man out.
So how you guys doing today? That was a Memorial Day tribute that we were watching, but obviously it's Thanksgiving right now. I saw 6 or 7 different videos this morning of the Star-Spangled Banner. There's a few things I didn't know. There was British people watching it, some colored people, but I chose that video because he's a veteran of our country. So I figured that would be the best video to play. A couple things that I want to point out in there is the flag, our flag. It represents so much, but first and foremost, one word: freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. One word. Think about it. That flag kept standing that night upon hundreds and hundreds of bombs shelling at it. Women and children were getting decimated and killed under the fort because they had dug holes to put the women and children in to keep them safe, and they all got killed. People were holding the flag up because the lives, of course, human lives matter, but if that flag would have fell, we would all be speaking British today. That flag had to fly no matter what. And once the the body of the flag was decimated, they started using humans to hold it up, to keep holding it up no matter what. That is huge. That is incredible. That is the American way, which represents freedom. You know? So I hope you like this video. I saw it this morning, like I said, in many different ways, but I chose that one because that man is a veteran of our country. And as you can see, the tears that were coming down his cheek, the first couple of videos I saw of it, I had chills. I had tears coming down also. Because no matter if it's British rule, Russian rule, Chinese rule, or North Korean rule, we will not go down without a fight. And that is a fact. We have to maintain our freedom. We have to maintain American way. We have to maintain the United States of America, the way we stand and believe in freedom. So always remember that. This is Wojak. Always remember it's better to have and not need and not have. Wojak, formerly known as Christian Prepper. TikTok took down my last video. Well, they didn't take it down. They silenced it because I was trying to help my fellow Americans, you, my brothers and sisters, to prepare for World War III. And rather than letting me run my video and to help my fellow Americans to prepare with food, water, and exercise their Second Amendment, they silenced my video on me. Oh my God, I can't believe that. TikTok, if you silence this video, you are more un-American than I've ever seen any social media post be. That would make you guys such losers if you guys silence this video also, because I am trying to help my brothers and sisters, my fellow Americans, prepare for World War III. So, silence the video, the hell with you. Don't silence it and be American, all right? I love all you guys. God bless you. Please pass this video along. And I'll be posting another one as soon as I can when I get free time. Love everybody. This is Wojak. Have a good day.